Sahana vavatu Sahano bhunaktu Saha viryam karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Samasta jana kalyani niratam karunamayam namami chinmayam devam sadgurum brahma vidvaram vasudeva sutam devam kamsachanuramardaram devaki paramanandam krishnam vande jagadgurum. Tvameva mata cha pita tvameva Tvameva bandhuscha sakha tvameva Tvameva vidya dravidam tvameva Tvameva sarvam amadeva deva Tvameva sarvam gurudeva deva. Hari Om. So we did mantra 17. Let's chant that one. It's on now, right? Yeah, okay. Bodhamatraham ajnanat Bodhamatraham ajnana Upadhi kalpito maya Upadhi kalpito maya Evam vipnasato nityam Evam vipnasato nityam Nirvikalpo sthitirmama Nirvikalpo sthitirmama. To nirvikalpe sthiti. So, aham bodhamatraha, I am of the nature of pure consciousness because that is my intrinsic nature. This is Swarupa Lakshanam. Swarupa Lakshanam is a necessary and sufficient qualification for me to know who I am. Any definition is complete only if it is both necessary and sufficient qualification. Most of them are necessary qualifications, but this is necessary and sufficient. That means if I say consciousness, it means I am. And I am also consciousness. So they cannot be two separate things. And also it is consciousness has to be existing entity, not non-existent entity. Therefore that consciousness which has to be existing, therefore it is Chit and also Sat Swarupam. And since it is existent quantity, it cannot be, it has to be infinite. Because if there is a limited, then we ask what is there on the other side of that limitation, it has to exist. Otherwise, we say there is some other side. That means existence has to be there, infinite. And therefore, that which is existent and consciousness has to be infinite. And that which is infinite is limitless. And that is limitless is Anantameva Anandam. Therefore, that is also Ananda Swarupam. So, it is my Bodhamatrenam. Bodhamatra means I am pure nature of consciousness, not conscious of, but consciousness itself. That is the knowledge itself, which cannot be defined. All I can define is only knowledge of. In epistemologically, I can only define knowledge of something. Knowledge of X, knowledge of Y, and so on. Knowledge of chemistry, physics, everything, all the world. But what is knowledge? I cannot define it because only definition involves objectification. Any definition involves objectification, and therefore knowledge of objects only I can define, and therefore pure knowledge is undefinable. But that is what is jnanam means, or that is what the pure consciousness means. It is being infinite, which cannot be defined also. So everything has to fit in exactly. That's why it is Purnam and Purnamidaha, Purnamadam also. So, aham bodhamatraha, maya upadhihi ajnanat kalpitaha. So, by me, because of the ignorance, this kalpanam, upadhihi, all the instruments of experience or upadhis, that are all because of the ajnana, because of the ignorance only it's been created. Kalpana means it's not even created, it appears to be created. That's what kalpana word means. It is as though it is created, but it's not really created. Why? In infinite I am, there cannot be any creation. Because infinite cannot undergo any modification. Only finite things can get modified. So their infinite Brahman cannot create anything. But yet there is a creation. So the creation that I see is only apparent creation from the point of the one who is for whom it is appearing. And therefore it is for the one who is inside the creation sees the creation. But once I am recognizes and I am realized that from my point there is no creation even. Even when I am seeing the creation, I can say there is no creation. That contradiction is only from the point of order of reality. Ontologically, the order will be different. So that's what one has to be careful here. Maya upadihi ajnanat kalpitaha. What ajnanam? Ajnanam of my own self, because there is nothing other than myself, because it's jnana swarupam. So who has ajnana? Maya means my ajnana, because of my own ignorance. But who is that my? That's a question. That's a very puzzling factor. So the one who doesn't know that he is Brahman is obviously having ajnana. So who has ajnanam? This is a fundamental question in Vedanta, and keep everybody asking how can infinite can have ajnanam? How can Brahman have infinite? So even Bhagavan Ramanuja criticizes Advaita cannot have, because Brahman, Ishvara cannot have ajnanam. Then he cannot be Ishvara. So we don't say Ishvara has ajnanam. I am having ajnanam because I don't know that I am totality. So whoever is having a problem, say, how do I know that I have ignorance? Because you are feeling all sorrowfulness. Because if you are infinite, you should be happy, because that is your nature. So as soon as you see what you call castor oil face, that means you already have a notion that I am limited, therefore I am unhappy. Any limitation causes unhappiness, and I don't like it because that's not my nature. Intrinsically it's not my nature, so I don't like being limited. So I want to solve the problem of not being limited. And how do I solve the problem? Getting this one, getting that one, getting that. So all the rat race starts by acquiring things or aggrandizing things, because I want to become infinite, not knowing that by adding finite things I can never become finite. Finite plus finite is always finite only. So therefore I can never solve the problem, but I cannot stop not solving the problem because I don't like being limited. That's only because I have recognized that I am only limited guy, and there is a problem because I am not limited, I am infinite, and that is the ajnanam. So that's called mula ajnanam, mula vidya. And that's what is essentially the original sin of other philosophers, other religions also. That's what is ajnanam. Therefore, because of ajnanam, I take myself what I am not as I am, because I don't know who I am. And therefore, when I take myself, I am now working towards becoming infinite. Therefore, I perform an action. And when I perform an action, there will be vasanas. And the vasanas will give you impressions. And then impressions will give you one more vasana. All goes on and on and on. It becomes kritimohodho patanakaranam. It becomes a ocean of infinite hole like that. You get into a entangled of a whirlpool, cannot get out of it. That's what the Vidyaranya said in the first chapter. Only Mahatma has to pick me up and lift me out of that. Otherwise, I'm an insect caught into the whirlpool, and going from one whirlpool to another whirlpool also. That's essentially the one life to other life. And therefore, upadehi kalpito maya. But I am now realizing, this is a Janaka statement, I am now realizing that I am in fact pure consciousness. There is really nothing in me. There is other than me. There is only pure me. Evam vimasnate nityam. So this understanding has to be firmly rooted in my knowledge. Evam, this way, vimasrataha nityam. Nityam means all the time. So what should I do every time? Every time, whenever I get a wrong notion, immediately replace with the right notion. Why I get a wrong notion? Because of habits. So when I am transacting the world, I had to transact using the upadhi, using the body, mind, intellect only. But still, while transacting using the body, mind, intellect, I had to recognize that I am not the body, mind, intellect. Just like using the pot, looking at the pot, using the pot for whatever purpose, for carrying water, and say there is no really pot. What is there is? It's only clay in the form of a pot. It's only Brahman that I am in the form of this one, in the form of the other one with whom I am fighting also. Okay, all that will be has to be understood. So how can I fight with myself? Only for drama. For drama's sake, I can perform that action in activity for fun, but at the same time, because I am in this role and I am in that role also, I had to play the roles beautifully for drama to be clear. Otherwise, a hero has to play as a hero and villain has to play villain. You don't interchange it. In Indian drama, you cannot interchange it. So, you have to play the role, whatever the role that you are taking it, and play the role beautifully so that everybody applauds, right? But playing role is not a problem. Life is becomes a play. It's called Leela Vibhuti. It becomes a Leela Vibhuti only when I can play. But if I take that role seriously and then carry that even outside the role when the role is over, then I have a problem. So when I am a father, I should be a father. When I am in the position, I should be employee, not act as a father sitting in the office and worrying about all the problems at home, because that's what we do. We have changing the roles but carrying previous roles into our roles. So whenever I am acting in any scene, I have to play that scene beautifully to the best that I can. That's what becomes a jnani, right? Jnani does whatever he does, it is exactly what to the best for the demand that body, mind, intellect is capable of doing it. If the body, mind, intellect cannot do, then you cannot help. That's not his problem. It's a body, mind, intellect problem. Equipments are not conducive to express that. So that's why last camp of Gurudev was in Washington. Right? After that only he went to this one and he couldn't give. That was the last yajna. He was almost, his blood was not going, his almost heart was only functioning 1/4 of the time. And our doctors asked him not to talk, because once on the stage it was a thundering speech. No one knows that he was even sick even. But at that time, you cannot stop him. But after that he was to collapse. We almost we would ask him not to go. We went to a couple of days, even Swamiteja, and that took the class because he couldn't even get up from the bed. But once he is in that scene, he was doing whatever the maximum that the body, mind, intellect can deliver. And that's what is the whole Mahatma is. That's what it involves in role playing. You play the role that is given to you as a father, as a mother, as an employee, as a friend. In every role, playing role is not a problem. So Jnani also plays a role. But at the time, but every time I am only playing role. I am an actor, not the role. I am different from the role. And that knowledge has to be sink in as training until we realize. Then it becomes habitual. That becomes. But until Nityam means I had to keep that all the time to the degree that becomes a Jivan Mukta, the one who is firmly abiding in the knowledge while transacting with the plurality, knowing the plurality is not really reality, it's only apparent reality. All that has to be understood. So with that, that's where we stopped. Actually, it doesn't matter where we stop, because this is all soliloquy, like a soliloquy of Janaka, with after realization he is expressing that which cannot be expressed, because na vak gacchati na manaha, neither mind can go really there, it cannot really describe things, but somehow you have to express. That's why remember electric yoga. How is it? No? We don't know how it is, but only statements come out, but yet it is a description of that state. That's why it's a wonder of all wonders. Everything is wonder actually. That's good. Thank you. This is also a wonder. Name bandhosti moksho va Nami bandhosti mokshova Bhranti santa nirashraya Bhranti santa nirashraya Aho mai stitam vishvam Aho mai stitam vishvam Vastuto na mai stitam Vastuto na. You can see all contradictions in the statements, but the contradictions are part of it. And so Krishna also contradicts himself. And somebody knows that Krishna, all Bhagavad Gita are all contradictions. How can you mean? Say everything, first time itself, say everybody is in me. Mastani sarva bhutani. In the very next sloka he says nobody is in me. He says these are all contradictions. But that's not a contradiction. That's absolute truth. That's why we need scriptures. Within the contradictions, I have to see the beauty in that, because that's expressing from the different too. So gold can say no ornaments are in me. At the same time, gold can also say all ornaments are in me only. Both our statements are right, but from what degree, what plane of reference it is being made has to be understood. That's why it has to be a srotavya. It has to be learned from a teacher. Otherwise, you say only read the. Somebody read Purnamada, Purnamidam, Purnat. Say, what is it? This is all whole Vedanta is packed in that sloka. Oh, what is this is full and that is full and this full came from that full and fullness from full and fullness removed, fullness alone remains. What is this? All childish talk. But whole Vedanta is packed there. But to unravel it, you need a lot of Vedantic study. That's why in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, we did that also in the last camp. And we are going to do Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, the third chapter only this time, Saturday only because of logistics also. And those who want to register have to register, otherwise there will not be a place. So they want to have to make sure enough number are also, because they have to order things around that. Okay. So, Name bandhosti mokshava. Say here his statement is me bandha nasti, moksha nasti. Say what are you talking about? Liberation or talking about free bondage? Who has a bondage? The bondage itself is also a notion. So from the Jnani's point, what does he say? I was never born. Should be understanding. Nitya mukta buddha mukta swarupa, right? I am eternally liberated. Even now, ajnana kale api, even when I do not know that I don't know who I am really free. Only problem is I don't know that I am free. Just like having keys in my pocket, I am searching for the keys all over. The seeker of the keys is already sought, who already has the keys. But I am searching all over the place without knowing where it is. Right? So that is the reason. I am looking for what? I am looking for happiness. Forget about moksham. I am looking for happiness. And why do you think having a good cup of hot coffee in the morning, Madras coffee, is happiness? Huh? But is that really coffee happy? Second cup of coffee becomes miserable, or third cup even really miserable. So obviously it's not in that, but it's only the happiness is coming when my mental agitations have calmed down, when the desire for it is fulfilled. That means a contented mind is the happy mind. Contented mind is the mind which is full. Because anything emptiness, it will want again. So therefore only mind which is full wants a notion that I am already full. That means an understanding that I am Brahmasmi, therefore Prajahati yada kaman sarvan parthamanogadan. There is no desire for me to any other thing for me to fill up, because I am already full. What desires I have? If at all I have desires only for loka kalyana, for benefit of others, it's fun, let's have it, or to help others only. But who are the others also is the question he is going to ask also. Nami bandhaha asti, na mokshaha asti va. Neither there is a liberation. So from the Jnani's point, he had realized that there is no bondage even, and not even the realization. All that is part of the Vyavaharika Satyam. Should understand. As long as I feel I am bound, then I need liberation. And the liberation is not really some kind of activity, because activity will bind me again. It is understanding that I am free. That's the liberation. How can I be free? Because the experience contradicts my understanding, because when you say, how can I be Brahman and then still transact, this is real, that is real, that is real, whole world that I am dealing with seems to be real, and but it's a Vedanta is not even real. So we're looking at it and transacting with the world at a transactionally real process. Mother is mother, still is father, chair is chair, table is table, food is food, and garbage is garbage. But from the science point also, everything electron, protons, neutrons, I understood. At the same time, I can discriminate with an understanding that food is food and garbage is garbage. I have no confusion there. So in the same way, Jnani can understand that I am the totality, yet at the locality level, he can still transact with this person is different, that person is different, my bank balance is different, your bank balance. No confusion there. So that's why Name Bandha, from what point? From understanding I am no bondage, I don't have to look for happiness anywhere, because I am full by myself. So therefore he is the Sthita Prajna. That's how Krishna starts. So Ka Bhashaha. So how does he transact? Because he's already full, there is no desire for him. And now Bandha, therefore there is no moksha. So Swami, those who are familiar, gives you the mule story. So one person, Pagadi, in the Himalayas, they used to live. He had mules, and he was carrying with all the mules, and suddenly it started snowing, because we don't know when it snows and when it's not. And so he wanted to take a rest because he cannot travel with all the mules around. So he saw some ashram there. So he went to the teacher, Swami there. Says, Swami, I have this problem, these mules are there, it's just snowing, I cannot go. He says, all right, beta, tie them up and have a take bath and have something, and after snow, when it's cleared all, you can go. So he went and tied, but he realized that he forgot the rope and the peg and all that to tie them. So what to take? Sit down. Say, they won't sit down. Unless you tie them, how can they sit down? So he had real problems. They may run away. So he ran to Mahatmas. So what should I do? I have problem. So what do you do normally? He said, I make a tuck and then tie them, and then they will normally lie down. So do one thing. You pretend as though you have a peg, pretend as though you are beating it, pretend as though you have a rope, and pretend as though you are tying them, and they will lie down. Pretend. We don't know. Well, let's try. So he made tuck noise as though he's pegging, and take as though he's tying the mules, and then ask them lie down. They lie down. Why now? He said, you see, you should have been tied. You should have done it before. He said, this Mahatma's great. Bhagavan ka leela hai. So he went and everybody slept. So went back and he had his bath until in the morning and got up and took leave of the Mahatma. And said, get up. They won't get up. What? He again have a problem. So he ran to the swim. What is it? They are not getting up. So did you untie them? What if I untie them? There is no tying there. No, you pretend now you are untying all that. Then only they will get up. So he has to go through all the process, and they got. So it is like we are like a mules. We thought we are tied. Therefore, we need a mechanism to untie ourselves. That's why Vedanta will start teaching you, you are this, do this sadhana, do this puja, do this upasana, do this, all things, ultimately attend Vedanta classes, all that. And then to what? That you are already liberated. To realize that I am already liberated, I had to go through all this process. Otherwise, I won't accept it. So we are like the mules, and therefore nami bandhosti mokshava Bhrantihi Shanta Nirashrayaha. So therefore, all this Bhranti, the delusion has really, without any support now, everything is gone. Shanta is essentially the peaceful now. Aho mai stitam vishvam. Oh wonder. See, in me only, whole universe is lying in me. Because I can fold it and unfold it. That's what we can do right now also, right? Not in the class. But I can fold it when I go to deep sleep state and then project its whole thing again. It's all in me. So all other things, space and time, everything is folded. But I am alone there. Don't say I got folded too. I am there because I slept very well. At the same time, the whole universe is gone. No time is, no space, but I am there beyond time and space. That is called transcendental meditation. I am transcending the space and time also. Not to sleeping, but while I am doing it with the knowledge, then it becomes a wisdom. Otherwise, it is just a sleep. So people know, even Nirvikalpa Samadhi cannot be. I had to understand Nirvikalpa Samadhi is only looking at the mind and say nothing else other than the mind itself as an object of my awareness. But once I identify with the mind, the subject, object, again back to the regular routine also. But I should have understood that in spite of the subject-object duality, I am still pervading both the subject and object as the very substratum for both. That is realization. That is called, so we will call it a Sahaja Samadhi also. So, aha, mai sitam vishvam. Then again says, people may misunderstand. Vastuta name vastutam. Actually, there is no world also. Vastuta means in truth. Na mayisitam, there is no world even. It's only appearance. Appearance can appear, but actually there is no world, there is nothing else, it's only appearances only. So these statements, we should be able to make it. How? By establishing ourselves in that knowledge that what Janaka is experiencing, then we say, hey, this is my own statements. So in the different religious people do different things, strange things to express themselves because they don't know how to express. Some people will be dancing and dancing and singing and whatever. That's why in the Upanishads also they, So Swami Tejamanji said, remember some of the slokas so that you can also chant those. Say, ahamannam, 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 ahamannadau, ahamannadau, ahamannadau. The all Taittiriya Upanishad, right? But that's a song of a celestial song of a realized master. I am annam, I am food, I am food, I am food. But I am also eater of the food, I am also eater of the both. The eater, food, the enjoyer, that means both the bhokta and the bhogyam. Everything is me only. The subject, object, everything is me. So that's how one sage screams out in the song. So if you don't know what song, you can by heart it and tell that. Here is a song of the realized person in his own way. In the process, he is teaching us also. Okay. Sasariramidam vishvam, sasariramidam vishvam, nakinchidati nischitam, nakinchidati or nakinchiditi nischitam, suddha chinmatra atma cha, suddha chinmatra atma cha, tat kasmin kalpanadhuna, kasmin kalpanadhuna. So sasariram idam vishvam nakinchit iti nischayaha. So sasariram, the sariram, along with the sasariram, along with the sariram, idam vishvam, this whole entire universe, nakinchit iti nischitam, this is not really there. He is identifying one side, one saying this body and this universe, so idam vishvam, that means he is pointing out all idam, everything else, and also idam body, idam kshetram, sariram. So including the body, that's starting from the body. So including body means body, mind and intellect. All this sthula, sushma and all shariras included. Sharira means including the subtle body and the gross body. Everything comes under idam that he can point out. Anything that can be pointed out becomes idam, and aham cannot be pointed out. So I am in fact is different from idam, and all this idam is just nothing but kalpana only. Therefore, sasariram idam Vishwam nakinchiditi nischitam. There is nothing really, even little bit of truth in this. Not a speck of reality in this. So nakinchidati. So there is a Brihadaranyaka statement. Neha nanasti kinchana. the statements in the Upanishad is neha na ne na iha neha na iha na asti kinchana. There is na asti. That means while looking while looking varieties of things in the world, as he is looking at the things of the world and making a statement, there is no really things in the world. Why? Because I am looking at the very substratum of it, and from that statement there is no really things. So gold can say there are no ornaments because all things is only from the point of gold. It's only gold only. I am only there. There are no instrument rings, and you call unnecessarily me in that form as a ring and in the other form as a bangle and in the form. So I, pure existent consciousness, in this form I have nama rupa, in the other form another nama rupa, in this form another rupa, in form of an object, in form of different objects also. This we should be understanding when we are transacting. Nehana nasti kinchana means there is no reality to the plurality that I perceive or experience or transact with. What I see is only I myself transacting with myself. So I can now be jealous, how can I be greedy, how can I be, all those negative tendencies automatically will drop out if I realize myself I am in that also. Sarva bhutastam atmanam, sarva bhutani cha atmani. In everything is myself only. But what myself? Myself expressing as the life form in the body, mind, intellect. Mind is different, body is different. But it is my own life expression there. So that recognition and realization, you see the beauty there. It's me only in that life form, in this tiger form, in the snake form, in the everything. I don't have to put finger there and complain that it's snaking. Keep the snake away from it. At the same time, enjoy the beauty of the snake, beauty of the tiger, everything, because it's my own expressions there. Body, mind, intellects are different. It has its own dharmas. But those dharmas do not belong to me. Mayatatam idam sarvam jagad avyaktam mastani sarva bhutani nacha aham teshu avastitaha. Nacha aham teshu means their modifications do not affect me. Therefore, ring qualifications or rings attributes, OD, ID, all those things do not belong to the gold at all. It doesn't affect the gold at all. You can make a ring into chutney or chutney something else. Nothing will happen to gold. Gold remains as a gold. So from the gold point, all those modifications are only for nama rupa, names and forms only. So nama rupa is the whole universe is nothing but Vishwam. And that is Sasariram idam Vishwam nakinchideti nischitam. That is called Nehana nasti kinchana, the statement from the Upanishad. Why? Suddha chinmatra atma cha. Tat kasmin kalpanadhuna. So this Atma, Suddha Nityatma, Sanichitaha, I am pure consciousness, Suddha Chinmatram, Chitmatram. Chinmatram is pure existent consciousness that I am. And Adhuna, Tat kasmin kalpana. So what projection, what kalpana is there? Even you say kalpana is also, it is also only nothing. So if not, it's like that's why it's called game, drama. When you play sports, what's the big deal about it? You hit the ball that side, the other fellow is hitting the ball this side. So what is it? Why don't you have two balls for each one? But for fun you play. So ball hitting is, what's the big deal about it? Why don't put some ball on the other side? But that's the whole game. It's fun. People spend watching this way, that way, this way, that way. Gurudev used to watch tennis. So, but that's beauty. Enjoying that's why once the game is over, that's the end of the story. You don't carry it away. But I can play the game of life, but after that, this one, it's over. Because past will never come back, future will never come, present only is the life. And we don't live in the present, unfortunately, because looking at the present, every time our mind will be either in the past or in the future. Nobody lives in the present, right? Worrying about the past or worrying about future, what's going to happen. In the present, there is no really present actually. Why present is where the past is meeting the future. So how big is the present today? This hour, this second, this microsecond, this picosecond. You keep dividing, there is nothing left, because what is there is the one who is dividing. He cannot be divided. I am the only presence there. My only presence is the truth. Everything else is only the drama there. Sariram Swarganarakau. Sariram Swarganarakau. Bandha moksho bhayam tatha. Kalpana matrame vaitat. Kalpana matrame vaitat. Kimme karyam chidatmanaha. Sariram Swarganarake. Says body, Sariram Swargam, Naraki, heaven and hell, all are essentially bandha moksha, bondage and moksham, tada bhayam, and the fear, all are etat kalpana matra. Everything is cock and bull stories only. So you have to do what happens when you die. That's what we're going to talk about in the Brahmanic Upanishad. What happens when a person dies, what happens to a sage dies, all those things are being discussed in the camp that's going to be. All are discussed in the because this cannot be, we don't know what happens after death. All we see is this man was all active until then, and now we put fire, nothing is happening, he's not even complaining. That's what Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi said, uncle, he was not, people were, when people are touching and all that, he was very sensitive and all that. Now people are putting fire and he's not even being disturbed, he's not complaining. So he said, what is death? What happens to the death? So he wants to experience death. And that, you know, the story of Ramana Maharshi. So he went into the state of death, and he found that he can still watch the body being dead, and so now people will come and carrying me and putting fire and all that. He was thinking all that. At the same time, it's not just imagination. He could experience that he's outside the body and see the body as though it is dead. So, hey, this is fun. So let me do this. Why should I lie down like this? I cannot do it, sit down and do it. So he started sitting down and doing it, and he was enjoying that state of beyond the identification with the body. And his brother scolded him, what is this? This fellow is to study. He was in the college, school or college. So, you are this kind of thing, you want to become Mahatma, or you want some sannyasi, or you want to study and do pass exams? Hey, that's a good idea. Why don't I become sannyasi? What is the use of these impositions that he has to rewrite again? So he decided to go to Arunachalam. I know you know the story, all that. Anyway, Kalpana matrame vaitadu kim me karyam chidatmanaha. Kim me karyam, what's purpose of these for me? That's why this text is not taken for the new people. This is only for the old people. Old means the one who has gone through the discipline of all Vedantic study and gone through the sadhana, chatushtaya sampatti, all the sadhanas, the one who are mature enough says, you can say, what good is this life for me? I just nothing to do with it. But those who have parents, those who have children, those who have to still have to play the role, still they are in the state, they are not parivrajakas, they are not sannyasis, they are still playing the role. While playing the role, this should be understood at a cognitive level, but operate at the transactional level as needed without getting extra unnecessarily things as transactions and relations and responsibilities. Take responsibility, whatever that comes because of the prarabdha. This is what my teacher told me. Okay? So I'm just repeating it. Kim me karyam aham chidatmana. I am chidatmana. I am of the pure nature of consciousness. So what kim me karyam? What good is this? What is this action? And action, morning and getting up, rat race, morning and everything. Dinaya minyo sayam prataha shasiravasanto punarayataha. Kala kridati gachatyayu. So morning comes, morning on, says everything, you know. So tomorrow I'm going, camp is over, then another camp is over, the text is over, the other over. But I am establishing the knowledge that I am, that has to be there all the time. That should never, in spite of changing time, changing, sun comes, sun goes, and I am firmly established. I see the sun coming, I see the sun going, I see that. That should be there. because I never change, everything changes, right? So my wife would say, what happened? Nothing has happened to you. You have not changed anything after attending Gita class. That's exactly what I wanted to be. Because how can I change? Because this she says whenever I don't agree with her. So I am eternally changeless. So therefore, how can I change? Kim me karyam aham sidatmanaha. So don't tell your wife that you are realized, just in case. She'll say, I don't believe it. So it's no point. Aho jana samuhepi. Oh, I'm sorry, I had to read the slogan. Aho jana samuhepi. Nadvaitam pasyate mama. Aranyameva samvruttam. Kvaratim karavanyaham. Aho, oh, what a wonder. Dvaitam na pasyataha mama. So by me, Dvaita, I don't see any duality at all. There is no duality because I am looking at the substantive, that is the bottom one. From that point, there is no duality. What is my bottom line? I am pure existence. So everything exists in me only, because where is that existence stops? Because the book exists, outside the book also existence is there. There is no difference in the existence itself. Existence is not a part of any object or a property of any object, but it pervades every object. It provides the existence to the object itself, but I am pure that existence that pervades everything else. That I am. So therefore, I have to feel. So when I say, who am I? How can I be this? I have to feel that I am the very existence that supporting everything else. Without me, nothing can exist. All are in me, but I am not in them, because each one is different in terms of their attributes wise. But pure existence doesn't have any attributes. And that I am, that should be the correct. That's why jana samuhepi. So in the jana samuhe api, that there is advaitam na pasyati. Even when I am in the middle of the crowds, there's no people there. So, because advaitam, so na advaitam pasyate, I do not see any duality. That means it's me only in every form and a name also. That identity makes me as a universal personality. Remember, the personality itself changes. When I really say, it's not that statements, but when the statements become a factual, that's why, remember the J.K. statement, it's not understanding as an understanding as a fact, not understanding as an understanding as just a thought. So when that becomes a factual understanding, I feel my own presence in everywhere, then I cannot but feel myself in everything too. So no duality anywhere, in spite of apparent duality. Therefore, automatically compassion, all those qualities, that's why divine qualities will come out, express itself, not because it's divine, that's my nature itself. So he doesn't have to put forth to say, I am showing some, no, it automatically comes out. It's a bubbling happiness thrown out. And that's what is jana samuhopi na dvaitam pasyati mama. Aranyameva samvruttam. Even when I am in the company of so many people, I am as though alone in the forest. Forest of what? Forest of this pure knowledge itself. It's not real forest. It's a forest of my own knowledge itself, as though, because there is nobody else other than me. That means Aranyam is here, is I am by myself as independent of, no dependence of anything else. And that is what is Aranyameva Samvruttaha. Kvaratim Karavanyaham. So Qua rati. Rati means the enjoyment or association or attachment. Qua, to whom I should be attached. So all those so-called attachments only, I can play the game of attachments as needed for transactional purposes. But in practice, I am completely detached. How do you know you are detached or not attached? If something happens, you are not perturbed. You are standing and you can give helping hand others. Okay? So that's why dukkeshu anudvignamanaha sukeshu vigata spruha vitaraka bhayakrodaha sutadhim namuchyate. That's a, irrespective of whatever ups and downs in life will not perturb me. Because all are, it's a drama only. What's the big deal? So kvaratim and so karavanyaham. So what should I have the attachment? And what actions I can do? What need to be done? Karavani aham. What is there for me to do? Therefore, I am completely free, no attachment. Asangoham, 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 punah punaha, sachidananda rupoham, ahameva ahamavya. That is in the Brahmavadi, Shankaracharya says, is I am unattached, I am unattached, I am unattached from the body level, the mind level, from the intellect level. I am pure, unattached. Attachment is mostly mental, right? That's why whole Gita started because of attachments. Panditaha anusochanti, they don't cry. Why? Because they are detached. They do not have, at the same time, they feel compassion itself to console you, knowing, well, this is a drama. Because they have to play the drama of it. Naham deho na me deho, naham deho na me deho, jivo naham aham, aham hichit, jivo naham aham hichit, ayame vahi me bandha, ayame vahi me bandha, asijya jivite spruha, asijya jivite spruha. So, naham deha, I am not the body. So starting from idam shariram, that's how the whole 13th chapter starts with this. This is the body. Idam shariram kaunteya kshetramicha vidiyate. So that, but who am I? I am the knower of the field. I am not this field itself. So that is, I am only one knower. That's what Krishna himself says, that I am the knower. I am the pure consciousness that is conscious of also. At the same time, I am that beyond all these things. So na aham deha, na me deha. In fact, I have no body even. I am not this body, pointing out the body, and I don't have even a body also. So only I have body when I say, like a pot space can say I am total space. In sitting in the pot also saying that I am total space. Pot cannot limit me. Pot walls also, I am pervading even the pot walls also. This is Ghadakasha, right? Ghadakasha, I am space. That's what in the Mandukya Karika Upanishad talks about. Say, I am the pot space thought I am only a limited space. But the teaching says, you are the total space. How can I be total space? That pot is bigger and this pot is bigger and all that. All those things are all only because I am enclosed in the pot, thinking that I am only limited by the condition, by the upadhis of the pot. But once I realize that I am beyond, including the bodies also in the pot is also in me only. I am the total space that pervades all the pots. But still, I can be in the pot also, serving in as a pot space. So that should be the Jivan Mukta also. Now, naham deho name deho, jivo naham. Ayame, so the ayameva hi me bandha asid. So what is the bondage? Bondage is taking that this is my body and I am the body. First is, this is my body. Hey, you are touching my leg, my hand, my this one, all this I point out as this is mine. That means I am owner of this. I am different from what I am owning it. But at the same time, where are you? I am here. Where? Wherever the body is there, I am here. I am fat, because body is fat. So, body is fat, body is lean, body is brown, body is white, body, all those modifications of the body, I take my modifications because this is I am Dehaha. From I am the body to I am, this is my body to I am the body. So what I have has become what I am. That's why people gather a lot of things. Why? Oh, I have $1 million house. So I have $1 million house. But something happens, he will cry because he's being as though he's affected. That means he takes himself identifying that $1 million house as he himself, and then he's affected. Because he should be respected because he has $1 million house. He is great because house is great, right? So in India we do also. My brother-in-law is a great minister. Therefore I am also great. So all those relationships we give are long, we call chantad in Telugu, but big thought, big rope-like connections. Because I am also great because of those. My greatness depends upon their greatness, not my greatness. So it says, Ayameva Hideva. That is the real bondage. There is no other bondage than identifying myself with what I am not as I am, with what I have as what I am. That includes starting from the body. Then goes beyond. This is my car, this is mine, this is mine, this is mine. All ahankara and mamakara becomes part of the whole life. That is the bondage. Ayameva hi bandhaha. So my truth is jivaha na aham. Maham chichit. I am not this jiva even. I am not even the individual that I say I am claiming right now for transactional purposes. But at the same time, I am pure consciousness itself. This is from the cognitive understanding. Transactionally, you should still say, where is your ID or so? I am this is my ID. I am so and so, this is where I live, address. You have to fill up the form properly. Don't say I am infinite. They will put you in the hospital. So for transactional purposes, I had to play the game, knowing very well this is what the whole thing is. So it says, Asid jivite spruha. So therefore, asid adya. This in fact is bondage as that exists, and all the jivitam, the life itself goes on with the notion that I am I am this local miserable body, mind and intellect that continuously changes. So as long as I think the body, then there is a birth, death, all jara, marana, all the 6 modifications. I have to undergo it. Body will undergo, but I don't undergo is the knowledge. That should be understood. That comes from the clear understanding and abiding in the knowledge. Aho bhuvana kallolaihi, aho bhuvana kallolaihi, vichitraidrak samustitam, chitraidrak samustitam, mai ananta maham bodau, mai ananta maham bodau, chittavale samudjate, chittavate namudjate. Aho Bhuvana kallolaihi ananta mahambodho. Mahambodha. Ananta means endless. Maha-ambudhi. Maha-ambudha means great ocean. So in this infinite ocean, what's happening? In me, of that nature of I am. So chittavade, this chittavadam, that means the storms in the mind is arising. Samudjate, they are arising. Vichitrahi, varieties of things are rising in my mind. Bhuvana kallolaihi, waves of the worlds. Bhuvana means worlds itself. All my life is nothing but the perturbations of the mind itself. If the mind is not perturbed and become quiet and folded, I am going in the sleep, calm and quiet. If I am awake and the mind is quiet, that is meditation. Whereas when I am going I also folded the mind, I am in the deep sleep state. In both states, I am neither subject nor object. I am beyond all that. It is no kallolam, there is no agitations of that. So vichitraihi bhuvana kallolahi, waves of the worlds. Drak samustitam, they're instantly produced in me as the ocean which is deep, which is unperturbed, but yet superficially on the top. The waves are rising on the ocean, but if you go deep into the ocean, there are no waves at all. It's calm and serene. So it is, that's why it says, talk about the Mahasamudram. In that Mahasamudram, deep as you go, as I deep into my own personality, I am unperturbed. But only superficially I can play all the games. Playing games is not different. My Ananta Mahambode Chittavale Samudjutam. So all Vichitra Samastitam, all things are coming at my mental level. But that doesn't perturb me because I am the deep inside. I am unperturbed. The ocean that is waveless. So waves arise when the water interacts with the movement of the wind. So all the winds are coming from sense objects coming in, information feeding in, and when I interact with the sense organs, the waves rise in the mind, and that is the one. But I can still play at the level of the mind, knowing well, I am not the mind, I am inside, and there all becomes my vibhuti, glory of me. Only the waves are rising, we go and watch the ocean. A beautiful ocean is today. Very big waves are coming. But from the waypoint, that becomes what? It becomes my vibhuti. That's my glory of the ocean itself. People want to go surfing on top of it and all that. So this analogy of the ocean, of a deep ocean, Mahambuddha, is going to be continued in all the next two slokas. Mayananta Mahambodau, Mayananta Mahambodau, Chittavale Prasamyati, Chittavale Prasamyati, Abhagya Jiva Vanijo, Abhagya Jiva Vanijo, Jagat Poto Vinishwaraha, Poto Vinashwaraha. Okay. Ananta Mahambodhe, this limitless, infinite ocean of this deep waters. Mai in me, that is me, and in me, Chittavale, the storms of the ocean, the mind, Prasamyati, that ceases when I am going to the deep meditation. They rise in me, sustained, I can play the games. When I am playing, is called the Atma Krida. Also Atmarati, I can sit in the seat of meditation and forget the whole universe and be myself, all where my mind is now unperturbed from anything also. I can be there, I can be this also. And that is essentially Chittavale, Prashamyati, Prashanti. That means calm and quiet, unperturbed ocean, because there is no wind coming in, no sense inputs, because I cut it off. By withdrawing myself, just like Kurmungariva, remember, in the tortoise withdraws its limbs whenever it wants, and that's also from the Siddha Prajna Lakshana. So that's how this is Chittavale Prasamyati, and then he gives an example here. Abhagya Jiva Vanijo, the Jiva who is acting like a merchant on this ship, with a ship going, this is Jagat Poto, this world of this ship of the world, and sitting on that he is transacting like a merchant. And merchant is what? Merchant wants to make profit, right? He is interested in making, what do I get? That's what merchant mentality. So what is my bottom line? So whenever you are worrying about self-centered, what am I going to get out of it? What are you going to get? That means you are a merchant. I love this person. Why? Because I'm getting something out of it. What do I get? I get happiness. If I don't get happiness, no more love. I love any object, any person, because as long as they are bringing me happiness. That's why, remember in the Brahmana, Maitreyi Brahmana, husband teaches wife, said nobody loves anybody. Atmanastu kamaya sarvam priyam bhavati. Hey, are Maitreyi. So, oh my dear Maitreyi, this is what Atmanas. Only people love anything only because they want something from them. What do they want? They want happiness. They thought they are not happy, and with that they are going to be happy. Therefore, they are going after that object. But if it becomes a pain in the neck, what happens? You know. All pursuits in life, rat race, is because of what? We have a notion that with that I am going to be happy, with this I am not going to be happy, I hate this one, I love that one. This is all that, rat race is because I love this, I love that, I love pizza, I love this. And too much pizza, then I have a problem, I don't love any more pizza. All these ups and downs in life is all rat race. So whenever you are enjoying, remember, if you think that you are going to be happy because of that, then should I not enjoy? Of course you can enjoy, but enjoy as the beauty of the Lord is coming Himself. That's why Brahmarpanam, Brahmavi sloka, if you really chant understanding, that's also chanted before you taking meals. He says, what is that? The one is also Brahman, the one eater is also Brahman, the one enjoying is also Brahman, the result is also Brahman. All are Brahman only. But with the understanding, then it becomes a Leela. So I remember in the Bhagavatam or Krishna story where Krishna goes to Vidura's house and the Vidura is feeding. What is he feeding? He was throwing the banana out and feeding the skin, and Krishna is enjoying, because Vidura was not paying attention to it. He is enjoying the beauty of Krishna and reveling in that Krishna Tattvam, and Krishna is also enjoying that. Neither one he is feeding in the process mechanically the skin of the girl. And suddenly his wife says, "What are you doing?" Krishna said, "Don't know what he is doing is right." Don't disturb. Because he enjoys that. That is what it is. I am reminded of so many of my associations with the Gurudev, but it's because we learn these things not only in the Vedanta class, outside, how he behaves, because he used to stay in our house also so many times before the center came and all that. And we used to transact so many things. But anyway, Mayananta Mahambodo Chittavade Prashamyati Abhagya Jiva Vanijo Jagatpote Vinishwaraha. So this one who is merchant like Paran, and he is traveling in the boat of this world, in this ocean with these high waves, what happens? He will be tossed here and there, back and forth. So Vinashwaraha will get destroyed. This is a life after life after life after life. We have been through that, so it is the time to end that. Those who want to end. Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschit yatati siddhaye yatadadapi siddhanam kaschin mam vitti tatvataha. Thousands of people are there, only few people are interested in this. And after people who are interested, only few people of that 1,000% is why they are really interested to pursue deeply. This is what has to be done. And that's why Ascharyavat Pasyati Kaschidena, Ascharyavat Vadati Tadayidana. Say everything is wonder. It's a wonder. Even listening is wonder, hearing is wonder. And yet, of all that hearing, people don't pursue. That's also wonder. Krishna's wonder. Mayananta Mahambodho. I'm sorry. Mayananta Mahambodho. Mayananta Mahambodho. Ascharyam Jiva Vichayaha. Ascharyam jiva vichaya ujyanti gnanti khelanti ujyanti gnanti khelanti pravishanti swabhavataha pravidanti swabhavataha pravishanti swabhavataha. Ascharyam. So in fact, this is Ascharyam, the wonder. This is really wonder. That's why Krishna also says Ascharyavat pasyate pasyadena. The vision of it is wonder. And talking about is wonder. Listening to this is wonder. And being will be a wonder of all wonders. So it says, wonderful, it's a marvelous. Ananta Mahabodhau, in this Anantam, limitless Mahambodhau, that is that which is the ocean, which is infinite and which is so deep of me, that is, I am that ocean. I am the ocean of what? Ocean of pure existent consciousness itself, because unlimited. That is my Swarupam. Jiva Vichayaha, the waves of the individuals or the individual itself, Swabhavataha, spontaneously raising in me. The waves are raising in me. Udbhanti, arise, Gnanti, just tossle around, Khelanti, play around, Pravishanti, enter into again, back into me. They rise in me, sustained by me, go back into me. Each wave thinks I am only a local wave, but only I am this bigger wave is swallowing the smaller wave. I have a date of birth and date of death and all that. That ocean may cry, become big and happy, and then suddenly it's being swallowed by some other wave and cry again. So how many people, how many lives you see, live people are, say, everybody, life is coming and life is going, people are crying, people are enjoying. The drama of life goes on and on and on. Thousands of years ago, same thing happened. Nothing different, only their worries are a little bit different from ours. But they are also worried about what's going to happen their child and what's going to happen this one. Who is going to become king and next king and all that, all same problems. Even though, and 1,000 from years also same thing, no difference. But stand apart and look at this drama of flow of life itself. It becomes the beauty. Pravishanti, Udjanti, Gnanti, Khelanti, Pravishanti. This is just a natural. Why are the waves in the ocean? Does the ocean ever questions? We just go there and watch. So somebody went, Swamiji, Gurudev, standard question, somebody wanted to go and take a dip in the ocean. And they went there and standing there. Say, what are you doing? I am watching, there are a lot of waves, so I want to take a dip in the ocean. So go and take a dip, but there are so many waves. So you want to wait until the waves subside? That will never happen. That's its nature. But I had to learn as waves. The waves, swimming in the ocean is different. You have to jump along with the wave and all this, otherwise you'll be drowned. Right? Those who know that. So you have to up and down along with that wave without getting perturbed by the waves that are rising in. That's how we have to live also. But here, I am the wave itself, I am the ocean. What is that? I am neither a ocean nor the wave, but I am the water that supports the ocean and the wave also. Ocean is the Ishvara. All things are rising in him, sustained by him, they go back into him. But from the point, there is no Ishvara, there is no Jiva. I am pure Sachidananda Swarupam. That which is beyond any words. Na Vakgacchati, na Manaha, nothing can go there. But that is my true nature. This kind of teaching is rare indeed, because this is a soliloquy, a realized master bursting out what is the nature of a realized person, ka bhasha, that is Arjuna is asking about some state. But here is state who has realized and recognizes this is me. Me means what? Not Janaka. This is me. I have to understand. It's not that somebody has to realize, something has to recognize, and I have to recognize Brahman. There is no Brahman realization. It is clear understanding. This is my nature itself. Because all our problems, we are objectifying Brahman as though I am trying to reach some Brahman. I have to realize Brahman. What is realize the moment? I have to realize myself. When I am that, I am not realizing myself. I am realizing myself right now. I am a local entity. That's the problem. Understand that I am in fact the infiniteness itself, and that is the teaching. And that's what Mayi eva sakalam jatam Mayi sarvam pratishtitam Mayi sarvam layam yanti tad brahmatmayam advayam asmayam. This is from the Kaivalya Upanishad. And this is what the statement, everything is rising in me, sustained by me, it goes back into me, but in me there no really nothing there, in truth. But this is all my vibhuti. Vibhuti means my glory. So I can see the world as with this vision. What will be the vision of me of the world? It is my own projection of the total. It becomes my own glory only. I am suffering in that form, I am enjoying in this form. It's a drama. If I can help, that's also drama. Helping is also drama. I cannot but help. I cannot. That's my nature also. I can stop being that fellow, being cruel. That's also drama I have to play. Every god equipped with all the missiles, right? To make sure that dharma is followed. But that's also drama. Krishna shows himself everything. Rakshasa also saw himself. At the same time he is playing the drama. But nothing affects me. Akanchidapi. There is nothing for me to worry about. So that should be our understanding with a clear cognitively. You don't have to declare it, but you have to feel that presence of it. That is realization. So with this, we stop here. Oh, we have some time for questions also. People are asking questions, but make sure you ask loud enough. But first, what we will do is, we will end this sloka and that, so that they can close the section there. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Before I open, I want to tell you, though maybe knowing, of course, all this knowledge I have gained, whatever I have gained, is only by studying, listening, and listening to the attending camps only. Because I am also a Grihastha. I also have to take care of my wife, child, and all that, and busily also. But yet, whatever the knowledge I have gained is only through, whenever there is an opportunity came, every camp of Gurudeva was attending, at least in this coast. And we arrange also camps here too. All my knowledge is only by conducting study groups, and ultimately when I ask somebody, then they say, you start teaching, and that's how I started teaching. That's how the first culprits are there. The Arden school, Arden study group, I started teaching, say no more questions, because they are asking same questions again all the time. So I said, no, I'll start teaching so that I can avoid same questions.
They are not recording that. They are not recording that.
So, she's my Hindi teacher. She gave up on my teaching Hindi also.